Hello screenwriters, we are back for another episode of Watch Me Write, where every week I write 5 pages from my first screenplay, then I discuss the previous 5 pages. This week we're going to talk about pages 96 through 100. The interrogation is over and now the boys are having separate conversations with each other. There's starting to be a divide. If you recall last week it was Jamar and Kafella having a conversation about Chris, maybe he's the one that killed Damon, and now it's Chris and Alonzo having a conversation. What's happening in this conversation is that Alonzo, first of all, he's very nervous because Alonzo is on parole and he knows that any violation of that parole will send him straight back to jail. But more specifically, he's afraid of losing his son. If you remember during the interrogation, it was threatened that unless he cooperates, he will lose his son. His son will never see him again. And also to Chris, he's putting things into Alonzo's head that, look, it has to be Kafella who was feeding the cops all this information about you. In Chris' mind, Chris thinks that Jamal was the one that shot Damon, and Kafella is trying to protect Jamal by directing the detectives towards Alonzo. Last week, Chris planted something in the detective's head about Rick. He told the detectives that, look, why are you interrogating us? Rick might have something to do with the murder as well. After that conversation, the detective went to go pick up Rick, and they now interrogating Rick. They start interrogating Rick, asking him all sorts of questions. Rick is denying that he had anything to do with Damon's murder. They bring up a key piece of evidence to Rick. It's a text message that Rick had sent Damon the night he was murdered. In the text message, Rick is threatening Damon. Rick tells Damon that, look, I know you sold me some bogus drugs. Either you give me my money back or else. Rick is shocked that this text message is being presented in front of him. He still denies having to do anything with Damon's murder. Detective Wallace and Andrew walk out the room and they have a private conversation. Wallace is wondering, why would Chris quick to drop Rick's name like that? They go back into the room and Rick tells the detective, look, unless I'm under arrest, you have no right to hold me here. The detectives are a little shocked that this street punk would know his rights like this. They let him go. Kafella decides to visit Sherry. She lets him in hesitantly and he walks in. She has her arms crossed, very standoffish, right? It's Sherry's birthday. Kafella has flowers. He presents her with the flowers. She doesn't take it. She's not having it because she's been texting him the whole day. He finally tells her that he was at the police precinct being interrogated. Sherry is furious. In her mind, if he had listened to her in the first place, he would never be in this mess. Kafella's not trying to argue. Sherry has a lot going on, right? So she has her SATs and Kafella lying to her, and just like this murder investigation. And of course, if you've been paying attention, there's something else going on with her too, something major. So Sherry has had enough and she finally tells Kafella, look, I can't take it anymore, and she breaks up with him. Kafella is shocked. He did not see this coming. He starts to plead. He doesn't want to lose her. He tells her he's sorry from this point on. He's never going to lie to her again. It's too late. Kafella world is starting to crumble. First, his high school counselor tells him that he may not graduate high school, and his business that he wants to start is in shambles, and now this murder investigation, things are not looking great for Kafella right now. That is it for pages 96 through 100. Next up are pages 101 through 105. I want to thank you all for watching my new series, 5 Questions with a Screenwriter. I'm having so much fun interviewing screenwriters. There's a lot more interviews coming up. Like this video, subscribe. If you think about writing your first screenplay, go to your favorite app store, download Stratword. Fade out.